Hey besties, it's Becky here with Bestie Becky's Crafts, and today we are going to make some charms. I had someone make a request when I made the tags out of the using the envelope punch board. They wanted to know how I made the little charms that I hung from the tag. So I thought I would show you how I made that today, and it's really easy. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'll set this over here. Now first of all, I usually work on a towel, and the towel I work on is usually bigger than this, but it's a little dirty because your tools all have oil on them and it got off on my towel. So I thought I'd try and find something a little cleaner, and it's not very big and it's still wrinkled, but it'll work for today's purposes. So what you will need is the towel, like I said, because it just keeps everything from not rolling away, what I found. You'll need some tools. You'll need round nose pliers. You can see that. You'll need chain nose pliers, and they are bent like so. Okay. And you'll need flat nose pliers. And these are smaller flat nose pliers. See that? And you'll need some bigger flat nose pliers. And the last thing you'll need is wire cutters. These are what my wire cutters look like. Now, I started out with a kit from Michael's. It was like $20, and I think I had 50% off coupons, so it really wasn't too bad to get started with these. I've since upgraded, I guess you'd want to say. I bought different cutters, and I did buy some smaller round nose pliers to do like earrings and things like that. So you'll also need, besides your tools, you'll need an eye pin, and I apologize, my hand is stained from crafting yesterday, so it looks kind of gross there. That's what you get when you're distressing. So here's an eye pin, and an eye pin has like an eye at the end of it, has a ring at the end of it. And I usually use the 3-inch long pieces. It's just easier for me to work with. I don't have to worry about it being too short and not having enough room to do my wire work. And then you also need a head pin. And this is the head pin. It's got the end on it like a head of a pin. It stops your beads from falling off. Again, it's 3-inch long. I don't know how wide it is. I just kind of eyeball it when I'm at the store. And then I've got some beads that I picked up. And you'll need a jump ring. You'll actually need 2 jump rings when you want to connect it to your tag. But you don't want to open your jump ring any more than you have to, because that'll weaken the metal. And I also have 2 end caps, and I picked different sizes, which you can do however you want. I guess it could also be like a spacer bead too. And then I use little seed beads, and I got a kit at Michael's that has assorted in there, and it seems to work pretty good for me. I can usually find something that's close enough that works, and this will help your bigger beads from going off the end of your wire. So let's go ahead and get started here with our charm. And if you can see what we're going to make here, and we'll get started with the butterfly on the bottom. So it looks difficult. It's really easy. Once you get started, you're probably going to be hooked. So I take my head pin, which is the one with the flat end on it, and I'm going to pick up a seed bead, and this happens to be pink. And I don't know if you saw how I did that. It was just easier for me to just pick it up off of the towel, find the hole, and slide it down. My eyes aren't quite what they used to be, nor my fingers, so that seems to make it easier for me. But the bigger beads, I go ahead and put on. And I'm going to put on a butterfly. See that? And I'm going to pick up another seed bead. And I rearranged my craft room, and I am trying to figure out my lighting for videos, and I'm not sure how good this is going to be, but well, it's a work in progress. So, okay, so we have our head pin, our seed bead, our butterfly, and then our seed bead. So now, let me see, let me come in just a little bit, see if that helps. Okay. Focus. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to go up, like not quite a quarter of an inch on my round nose pliers, and not quite a quarter of an inch up my wire. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. Now okay, got that? So it looks like that. Alright, now I'm going to place the round nose pliers level to the ground. Let me back up a little bit here. And I'm going to take my top of my wire, and I'm going to bend it away from me, like so. Okay, 90 degrees away from me. And then bend it around back towards me, so I get a loop. Okay, so first I put my round nose pliers about a quarter of an inch, not quite, away from my wire, and from the end of my round nose pliers it was sticking straight up. I bent it over at 90 degrees away from me, and then bend it around this outside part of my round nose pliers. Alright, got that? So when I take it out, it looks like this. Whoop! It looks like this. Okay, got that? And then what I do is I'm just going to hold it, and I'm going to take my round nose pliers in my other hand, stick it back through that loop, okay, and I'm going to hold it so that the top of the round nose pliers is sticking straight up, and my bead straight down, and this wire is facing towards me at 90 degrees. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like this way. You can see. Okay, and there's the back side. Okay, so I'm going to hold it pretty tight with this hand, my wire, because I don't want my wire to move. And then I'm going to take my flat nose pliers, the smaller ones, and I'm going to show you, is I'm going to grab kind of close to that wire, and I'm going to push up. It's because I want a nice tight loop around that round nose part. Okay, so here is my loop, but here's the long wire, and it's on the left hand side, the side towards me right now. Okay, now I usually have it like this, facing me, or whatever works. But then what I do is, since I've bent it up and I've got a nice tight loop around that wire, I'll take the end of my wire and pull it around to the back, kind of tight around that wire. And then I'll take it again, from the back, and I'll wrap it around just underneath that other wire back up to the front. Okay, you can see that. Whoop. Got off screen there. Alright, and then I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to grab the end of that wire and I'm going to twist it around to the back so that it's tight around this wire, and then I'm going to do it again and bring it around to the front. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I get all the way down to my seed bead. Now you're going to want gravity to help you. So you're going to want to hold it straight down so that your bead is dangling down, so that your beads are down to the bottom of that head pin. And you are going to wrap around until, now I gotta get close here, until you're close to that seed bead. Okay? You can see. It kind of looks like. And then we're going to take our wire cutters and we're going to use the flattest edge because we can get the closest cut. We're going to use that flat edge to get in there right next to our wire, and that's where we're going to cut. And we're going to be careful not to cut any of this wire or our beads. Make sure you hold on to that wire or cover it or something some way so that it doesn't fly off in your eyeballs, because nobody wants that to happen. And there you go. You just snip it off. And then I take my flat nose pliers, the smaller ones, and you're going to go find that end that you cut off. There it is, right there. And you're just going to bend it down because you don't want it sticking out and to catch on anything. And you're going to make sure that you don't press on that bead, that seed bead that's there at the top, because you don't want to break it. If you do, you just cut the wire and redo it. Okay, so here's what my bead looks like, and you're like, but that top loop is crooked. Well, that's an easy fix. What I do is I just take my flat nose pliers, put it up towards the top of that loop, take my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to straighten out that loop. To where I like it. I need to do a little bit more. There you go. Now, if it got crooked, you can straighten it out, all those sorts of things. So there's the bottom part to the charm. Okay, that is easy. So now let's do the pearl part. Okay, so for that, you'll need your head pin, or eye pin, because it's an eyeball down there. That's why they call it that, I guess. So you'll need your eye pin, and then again, some seed beads. So I have my little pink seed beads here, and I'm just going to pick one up and put it on the bottom there. And this is just so that the rest of my beads have an anchor, don't fall off, and it's decorative too. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I have a little pearl, pink pearl, I'm going to put on there, like so. And then I have my bigger pearl here, but I want to make it a little bit more decorative, so I have one of those small end caps I'm going to put on, and then I'm going to put my bead on, and then I have the larger one, and I'm going to put that on top, like so. Now to finish it off, let's put a seed bead on the top, and there we go. See how easy that was? Pretty too. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing. So we have our beads. We take our round nose pliers. We go up not quite 1/4 of an inch on our round nose pliers and up from the bottom of the beads, like so. See that? And I'm going to put it flat so the beads are facing down, and the round nose pliers are perpendicular to me. Is that right? Fancy word. And then I'm just going to bend it at 90 degrees so the wire is facing away from me. I'm going to take the end of that wire and I'm going to bend it around and pull it tight so now it's facing me. Okay? Now, I'm going to hold the end of that wire. Once you get used to it, you'll figure out your ways to do it. But I think to try and demonstrate it, we'll just do it this way. So, I'm holding the end of that wire that's facing me. I've got my round nose pliers. I'm going to put them back in that hole. The bottom. Oops. It helps if you show it on screen, doesn't it? The bottom one. There we go. In that loop. And the top one on top. And you're going to squeeze pretty hard to hold it steady. Okay, so it looks like that. And then, like I said, using gravity, you can keep those beads facing down. But to show you, I'm going to get close to that wire and I'm going to bend it up tight so I get a tight loop. And then I'm going to take the end of that wire and holding these tight, I'm going to wrap around to the back, pulling pretty tight. Okay? So there it is, 90 degrees to the back, or just straight back. And then I'm going to, it's easier if you kind of turn your pliers and you're going to wrap again like so, and they're facing you. Flip your pliers and then just wrap around and keep flipping your pliers over and keep wrapping around. And you're going to wrap down that wire until you get close to your bead. I think I'm pretty close. I gotta look here. Yep, okay. So then I can take my tool out, use my wire cutters, and cut that wire close to where I wrapped. Make sure you catch that wire, you don't want it flying up. Okay. And then you've got that little tiny tail. I don't know if you can see that. Little tiny tail there. You don't want that sticking up. So you just bring your flat nose pliers in and you bend it, hopefully. You bend it around so it's not sticking out, just like so. Now, like I said, the top of my loop is a little crooked, and that's okay, because what I do is I just take my flat nose pliers, put it close to the bottom of the loop, take my round nose pliers, put it back in the loop, and just straighten it out. And the round nose pliers keeps it straight, or keeps it round, I should say. Bring it up to where I want it to be. A little bit more. There we go. You can straighten it out. You can line up your wires, your holes if you wanted to. So there we have our two beads. Okay, now let's put them together. And to put them together, we use a jump ring. I think this is 6 millimeters. I'm not sure. I think. So, for our jump ring, we use different tools. We use our chain nose pliers, which are these funky rounded pliers, and the bigger flat nose pliers. Okay, now to open the jump ring, there's a little place where it's split, and you're going to put your chain nose pliers right up next to that split. Okay, see where the split is right there? And you're going to take your bigger flat nose pliers and you're going to put on the other side of that split, and you're just going to, I don't know how to rotate. You're not going to pull apart because that'll mess up the roundness of your jump ring. You're just going to separate them. So I'll put them back together and show you. Okay, even though it weakens it, but okay, so there's my jump ring, and there's my little opening. Okay, I'm gonna put my jump ring, my chain nose pliers to the one side of that jump ring, and my bigger flat nose pliers on the other side, and I'm going to turn my, I don't know, my right hand towards me and my left hand just keep it away, or just keep it where it is and turn it out. So you got that. Alright, now I'll just keep it in here, and I'll add my beads, and then I'll close it up, just doing the opposite, like so. Alright, so there's my jump ring. Let's see it. And then what I do is I make it sure that it's closed. I just just a little tiny bit of pressure, because you don't want to squeeze too hard, it'll get it out of whack. So you just want to make sure that it's together, and together this way, and together this way. Just want to make sure that it has a good seal there, because you don't want to lose your charm. And there you go. And then I would just put a jump ring on the top. Oops. Put a jump ring on the top and attach it to the top of my tag. Now if you wanted to, you could also have a jump ring and then attach this charm to a lobster clasp, and then they could take it off and use it for something else if they wanted to. So that's it. That's how you make a simple charm. Told you it's pretty easy. And I will leave the link to the tutorial on how to make the tags down below, because those are really easy and fun to make with the envelope punch board. And I hope this video was okay. Like I said, new lighting, new place in my craft room, trying to figure it all out. So I'll get there. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Keep crafting. Hi Mom. Hi Rena. Hi Dara. And everyone take care. See you later. Bye.